All right, here we go. This is Chaotic Crypto. It's where we defy tyranny. It's been a few days since our last update. Just wanted to check in with everybody, and just gazing upon different channels and different opinions out there. People are really bearish right now, and we're actually getting a lot of bullish activity on the charts. Um, gotta pull up on the hourly charts. A fair amount of volume. We're getting a bullish green candle up. We'll take a look at the 4 hours. People are really starting to call for 10, 12K. People are saying that Grayscale is going to go under. People are saying that Tether is going to collapse. Not saying that stuff can't happen, but people have been talking about Tether collapsing for since last cycle, 2017, 4 or 5 years. It hasn't happened yet, and I don't think it will. Granted, if it does happen, we probably will see the 10 to 12K range, but there's no reason to sit around and bet on that. We've seen so much capitulation in this market that it's just unlikely at this point. I'm sorry, not sorry, it's unlikely. What's more likely is that we get a rally, probably of the 20K, maybe the 24K. It could even be more bullish than that, but more than likely, we're going to come up and try to test this 19 to 20K level. Now, we could get rejected off that, then come back down, and then maybe even get another retest 18 or 19K. But personally, I think we're going to come up to probably 21K, something like that. And zooming out, what often happens is you get patterns, right? Patterns in the charts. And let's see if this thing can come through here. It would just make sense to me that we would come up to the 21K level, fall back down, kind of do a mirror of this situation for a couple more months, maybe till spring. I mean, it's going to be a lengthy consolidation. There's no doubt about that, but I think most of the pain is over with. But yeah, we come up to 21K, fall down, consolidate. Let's zoom out on the daily. But yeah, I'm feeling a little bit more bullish than a lot of other people. And yeah, it's just, if you look at the daily, that would kind of create like an inverse head and shoulders. Say we come up, consolidate, come through here. Maybe it takes a little longer. I have this set for like a spring rally, which is very, very to be expected. It's just very likely because that's what happened with the last market bottom cycle, 2017, 2018. It fell down over about a year, consolidated around 36K. And then that spring, I think like March or April, I think it was actually April Fool's was the big jump up, and it just spiked. And that's kind of how I have this longer term expectation of how this is going to go. There's a slight chance we can come back down to this level, but the longer we've been down here, the less I'm kind of thinking that. But it's likely we'll come back, come back up, retest the 20K level, and then maybe never see that 20K level again. And up until, and this is very crystal ball type thinking right here, but over the next few years, we go into a bull market and come up to say 100K, 120K. 120K is like my personal prediction. But we'd come back down. Likely this 60K region will be support, and maybe come down to 30. It's really, a lot of that kind of depends, but there's a lot of volume in that 30K region, and then there's also a lot of resistance here. So if we break up above 60, 70K. That resistance could become support and strong support, depending how far up we go. But regardless, to me, Bitcoin's the gold. If we're going to go into a full-fledged recession, which I really feel like we've been in a recession for the last couple of years, especially this past year. They can say what they want, but it's been pretty rough. Maybe things come into more fruition. I think the Fed, if I had to take another guess, I think the Fed's gotten way too aggressive with these rates, and they're gonna pay for it dearly next year, and they probably get voted out of office because if the economy slows too hard and housing crashes, Powell's out, Biden and all of them will be out, and it'll be it's going to be a whole other thing. Also, the SEC, Gary Gensler, he's clearly guilty. He was colluding with FTX for sure, or just completely negligent about his job. Regardless, he's going to probably be gone, and they're going to probably come up with some new legislation. And legislation will be good for next cycles. Then the big corporations and the hedge funds will get in. Maybe there'll be an ETF, and good things could happen. But yeah, I just want to say that a lot of people are being just so bearish out there. I was watching BitBoy Crypto, and all those people are bearish, 10, 12K, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, God, just like, the more y'all say that, the more it's like very unlikely. I mean, I think the next year is probably going to be sideways for sure. I get that. And that's kind of how I have this drawn, and that just makes the most sense to me. And Bitcoin's not going to go anywhere. I mean, it's just a store of value, a decentralized store of value, period. End of story right there. So, yeah, I'm stacking good projects. I made a list of coins I'm starting to create a portfolio just like every week going in on, Link would be one, and Polygon, Algorand, not going heavy, but just steady accumulation with coins that also give back. Link apparently has staking now. I haven't looked into that yet. I have it staked on Aave through Kyber Crystal Wallet, but it's only like 2% or something like that. But apparently you get 5%, up to 5% on Link staking, but I think it's held for a year, which, I mean, in a bear market, you might as well do that. And, so I will look more into that as well. I have a few mining rigs going, but none of them are really profitable yet. They're just breaking even, heating my house. So it's one thing to look into if you don't mind running your computers. And well, I use GPU mining, but the ASICs are loud. But you can probably get some good deals on mining equipment right now, being that it's not very profitable. So, but it is sort of a part-time job, so it's not going to be some easy peasy thing. I just want to take a look at the Fear and Greed Index. I believe we've got a couple of reads at 25. Yeah, I feel like the 25 that we're getting is kind of like similar to the 20 we were getting. And there seems to be a bit of a divergence. We've been going lower, yet our Fear and Greed Index has been going higher. So I think there's a lot of divergences going on, especially on the weekly. Not so much on the daily, but if you look at the weekly RSI, I've already touched on this before. But what called the double top in our bull cycle was the bearish divergence. And what we're getting now is the opposite of bullish divergence. And once this thing loads, I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's see if I can get this to load as well. There we go. Slowly but surely. Yeah, so basically we had our top. The first top was at 64K about, and the second top was at 69. Nice. And in the RSI divergence, you can tell that. I'll show you. RSI is short for Relative Strength Index, in case you were wondering. So this was our first top. Oops. This was our first top right here at 64K. Completely oversold on the RSI. And then what happened, we crashed down pretty hard. We come back up. This is our second top, which was a higher number, 69K. Nice. And then we fell down again, and our second top was at 50K, and then some, and now we've finally broken out, and we're actually creating support on this resistance line. But now we have the inverse of that happening. So it's bullish now because our first low here, this was at 17.5, and now we just had a lower low at 16, or no, it's 15.5, 15.6, something like that. Now, it is somewhat possible that we come up and create somehow another low. I think it's pretty unlikely, again, just with all the negativity. But it could come up and fall down to, say, 14K or something, and still it'd be a higher low on the RSI, then that'd be really bullish too. But I think it's really bullish that we're finding support on this previous RSI resistance, and be a springboard, for the next bull run. Now, if you look, zoom out into our last market cycle, this was the low at the 3,000, and here was, I think, 4,000, and then that spring. See, February, maybe it actually happened in March. I don't remember. Let's see. March. It was about March, April. We had the big pump, but it wasn't a long time period. We're actually longer. This has been the second longest bear market, by the way. 2013 was a little bit longer. Food for thought there. We almost become the longest bear market ever. So at some point this is going to end. At some point this pain is going to stop. So let's just hang in there best we can. And something else to note, this has been apparently the worst performance for a traditional portfolio, 60-40 stock and bond split in 100 years. So if we're not in a recession or some kind of really terrible, turbulent time, I don't know what it is. So people are talking about like 2023 being worse. I'm like, maybe worse than this year? I don't know. So they could have them. If it is, it's going to put us in some kind of weird depression or something. I've already been depressed, so hopefully not. But yeah, we just don't have a whole lot of time here. Like, we might bounce around here if we're lucky a little longer, but we're going to start getting to work here. Like, it's just, it makes a sense for us to start going to 20K, 24K, and it's possible to go to 30K. I think that'll be more of a springtime thing, 30 to 40K, then a pullback. But you just don't know. I think 20 to 24K for the New Year, Christmas rally, and then pull back to 20K, 19K. Be kind of a grind this winter, but could be surprised. So we just don't know. Just looking at good projects. Litecoin, I think, is going to be. There's been a lot of buzz about Litecoin. Litecoin's the silver to the Bitcoin, supposedly. But Litecoin has its halving coming up next year, so that might be a bit of I could see it at least doubling, $150, $200, maybe $300 with Litecoin. So that's something to look into. Link. A lot of people are hating on DOT, but I think that one if you're staking it for 12.5% APY, why not? A lot of the blockchain stocks have gotten completely wrecked. Riot. I don't even know if Hive is still a ticker. I had Riot, Hive, Mara. Mara's still alive. The Dixie, the U.S. dollar has been completely tanking and will probably continue to tank for a good while. So that's going to be bullish for the other markets. Let's see. Cardano ADA is just one of my just go-tos. I really love it. Decentralized. They want to do blockchain voting on the blockchain. That is essential. The narrative is going to be decentralization. No more centralized authorities, really. I think DeFi is going to have a major part to play this next cycle. And maybe the centralized players come in, like Goldman Sachs, and these other ones are going to start buying up these other distressed assets like Voyager and Celsius. Like, pray God. The SBF thing is just completely pathetic, that guy. And whatever caused that whole thing, he just seems like a terrible, terrible person. It's just interesting. Everything's just very interesting. Yeah, just my big plays. I remember people ask me, like, what am I looking into? What do I buy? I mean, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Link. That's like literally what I've been saying for years. And I think those are just really solid plays. But there's a lot more. There's a lot of other ones. Atomic, Aave, Litecoin, I think, too. BNB Binance coin, I think, is a very strong buy, like a very strong coin, but I just don't see it getting more than 10x because it's 280. I mean, for a 10x, it's got to hit $2,800, and I think it got close to 1,000 this cycle, but still. Theta. So Theta is going to be, it's like a live streaming blockchain, and it's supposed to aid in um, yeah, it's supposed to aid in video streaming. I'm not sure exactly the technology. Maybe we'll do a deep dive on that. Uniswap is decentralized. It's the number one exchange, I think, per volume. Um, it's a decentralized exchange. It can't go down, so I think that is very strong. The narrative may also push into VE chain. That's a supply chain for crypto. There's only a couple of them. I think Doc is another one. I don't know much about that. Zilliqa is another one of my babies that I'm just like really kind of wondering what its future is going to be. It really started to run towards the end of this last bull run, and they were having some big NFT deals. Tezos apparently is working with the European Union, the EU, I think, or something to do with their monetary system. And XRP, I mean, we'll see what happens with that case. That's going to be really interesting. And Tron, TRX has been, the OGs that have been around, I think, are safe plays as long as they've at least met their previous all-time highs. But Tron looked really strong to me last time I looked at it. Let me see. Last time I looked at this baby, it's like, man, not on the. And I also wanted to look at the total market cap. Everyone's looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, like, this whole thing is about crypto blockchain. Everyone's putting way too much focus on just like Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing? It's not about Bitcoin. It's about the whole space. It reached 3 trillion market cap, and it's just testing previous highs to get the bull market going again. Yeah, so like Tron's just testing its previous high, at least on this chart. This is the Binance Tether US chart. It is making a descending triangle, so that is a slight bit worrisome in the way that they can break down, so it could come down further, but remains to be seen. But it's been around for a good while. This chart doesn't do it justice. What was the other one? Oh, yeah, I wanted to look at the total market cap. Now you can get this program on TradingView for free. You get a basic package, I think 3 indicators at the same time. That's what I use. Some of the special indicators do cost a little bit more. You see, like, we're so bullish. Like, we're just testing previous low highs. This is total market cap exclude BTC, but it's essentially the same. I'll show you the other one as well. But we're just building support to start getting ready to go to the next bull run. It's not a big deal. It's fine. And this is basically just everyone's just freaking out. I think it's totally fine. If we get lower prices, we get lower prices. It doesn't really matter at this point. There's been so much capitulation. See, this is still the same. It's just testing previous highs. You can even like zoom out and kind of see. This is the total market cap. Yeah, I mean, it's just not a whole lot of price history, but that's generally when you're in a market, you go up, come back down, you test the previous low, right, and then you come back up again. Yeah, this market right here went up, broke up, came back, tested that previous low. Here it is again, went up, tested the previous high right there. That's just what it does. So I mean, to me, that's all that's happening right here. It's just testing the previous highs. So I'm not worried about things. Everyone else is. Just don't put all your money in crappy projects. So anyway, that's it for me today. I want to check in back in tomorrow and see what's up. Hang in there. Diamond hands strong. Keep stacking sats. Peace.